Hi guys, and thank you for joining me on another video this week. Today I am bringing you guys some healthy, affordable, plant-based recipes that anybody can make and is delicious and super quick. So if you guys want to check it out, just keep watching. So after hitting the gym, I always like to have some sort of protein right away. So I'm having this protein smoothie and I'm using some frozen tropical fruits, some banana, and I actually used 3 bananas because I really wanted to load up on potassium, a little bit of almond milk, and a dash of coconut cream because I just think it makes my smoothies taste amazing, and a dash of cinnamon and a little bit of coconut nectar. I love adding cinnamon to my smoothies because cinnamon is a detoxifying agent, it's anti-inflammatory, and it's just really good for your skin. And here is my plant-based protein. I get this from Whole Foods. It's delicious, it's smooth, it's not grainy, and it just tastes really good in my opinion. And I always love to top off my smoothies with a little bit of chia seeds, and I don't soak these beforehand. I just like adding them into it and then letting them get thicker in the smoothie because it's so high in omega-3 acids, and it has calcium, magnesium, and fiber. And calcium and magnesium are great for your bones, and the fiber helps to clean out your stomach and your colon, so it's going to keep you pretty clean and healthy. Lunchtime called for some Brussels sprouts, and I am going to quickly roast them in the oven for 10 minutes, and I'm going to season them. And here are some interesting facts about Brussels sprouts. They're really high in anti-cancer cells, and this is perfect for people who want to prevent damage and fight free radicals and support liver function, as well as healing ulcers. Isn't that interesting? Brussels sprouts help heal ulcers, as well as most cabbage. So I'm separating the outer leaves from the core because I want them to get really caramelized and nice and crispy in the oven. And I'm just going to transfer them to a cookie sheet, and this is the best way to get them to caramelize. You don't want to put them in a chunky tray. I am going to season my Brussels sprouts with onion powder, some garlic powder as well, and some dried parsley flakes, and a little bit of salt. And I'm going to drizzle some olive oil over the top just to help the cooking process. And I'm going to put them in the oven. My oven is at 400, and I'm just going to cook them for about 10 to 15 minutes, and you definitely want to make sure you keep an eye on them. While my Brussels sprouts are cooking, I'm going to make the vinaigrette for my salad, and I'm using some apple cider vinegar, a little bit of olive oil, some coconut nectar, and as well as a little bit of salt just to season the dressing. And this is pretty much it. It's my basic dressing. It's usually my go-to dressing every day because it just tastes delicious to me. I love apple cider vinegar. Is that what it's called? Yes, it is. Apple cider vinegar. Anyways, I'm using some lettuce. I think it's romaine. I actually don't remember. Some carrots and a whole lot of parsley. I kind of wanted to make a tabbouleh style, but I didn't have tabbouleh and I didn't have cucumbers or tomatoes, so this is what I came up with. And for my falafel, I bought these at Whole Foods, and it's uncooked falafel, and the ingredients are really simple, really healthy, and I just put them in the pan with a little bit of olive oil, and I wait for them to get brown on each side. And I am serving everything with some rice that I made from yesterday, my salad that has been marinating for a while, my delicious Brussels sprouts, and a bit of spicy tofu, which I will say it was a little bit too spicy. But this was a just delicious meal, and I actually had 2 servings of it, so I didn't actually need to eat until dinner time. Now that it's dinner time, I wanted to make something fairly quick and full of protein and tasty. Just tasty. So I decided to make some protein patties. That's what I'm just gonna call them because I don't really know what to call them. So I'm starting off by cubing 2 potatoes because it's for me and my husband. And I'm going to boil those potatoes, and then for a salad I'm going to cut some corn off the cob, and I slant the corn on an angle and run my knife down the side without getting to the pit because I love eating fresh raw corn, but I don't like eating it off the cob. It's uncomfortable for my poor teeth. So I'm cutting it off the cob, and I'm also going to chop up some kale and some Brussels sprouts, and this is a mix that I found at the supermarket. Again, I love Brussels sprouts, obviously, and kale, and it's just really good together and raw. It tastes really good in the salad. And I'm also gonna chop up some spinach. I love chopping up my lettuce to small bite-sized pieces. It's just easier for me to enjoy the salad that way. And for the dressing, I'm starting off with a half a lemon, some apple cider vinegar once again, a bit of coconut nectar, and some soy sauce to add my salt to that, so I'm not going to be adding any salt to that, and a drizzle of olive oil, more like a dollop of olive oil. And I'm just going to whisk that together, add my salad fixins, and let that sit and marinate while I cook my delicious little, whatever I called them before, protein patties. I also forgot to mention I'm adding some sunflower seeds to it, and sunflower seeds are actually a really good source of vitamin E, which means it's good for your hair and your skin. So I'm going to start on my protein patties, and I'm adding some rinsed red beans, and I'm just going to mash it up with my fork. That's why I let my potatoes cook until they were well done, so that the mashing process could be a little bit easier. If you have a potato masher, you should definitely use that, but since I don't, I'm just going to use my fork. For the seasoning, I'm going to add some garlic powder, some onion powder, some Italian seasoning, which I think goes really well with potatoes. I'm adding some turmeric to give it a little bit of color and some more anti-inflammatory properties, as well as some paprika. This is a sweet, smoky paprika, which is so good with potatoes, and some dried parsley as well, and a bit of salt. So I'm going to start forming my patties, and to crumb my patties, and I say crumb in quotation marks because we're not actually using crumbs or bread. We're going to use the nutritional yeast as our crumbing agent to form kind of like a crust outside. And I was really surprised because I love nutritional yeast. I use it every time I make any sort of food, and it was actually really cheesy. By the time I was done and I tasted everything, it just tasted really good. So I'm adding my patties to a hot pan with a little bit of olive oil, and as you can see at the bottom of the pan, you can see the nutritional yeast. It just forms like a really crunchy, crispy layer, and they were really easy to flip over. If yours is more wet, you might want to add some nutritional yeast to the actual mixture so that it can dry up a little bit, but mine were easy to flip and nothing was crumbling or falling apart on me, which made me really happy. So I decided to plate it with some tomato sauce because I love potatoes and tomato sauce, and this is something that I made the night before. I'm talking about my tomato sauce, not my potatoes. So here is the meal. It is a delicious salad. I absolutely love how light the salad is and how heavy and crispy the patties are. I love this dish. It was really cheap to make as well as efficient and easy. And as I'm cutting through it, you can just see like how the crust breaks and then it's fluffy and soft on the inside. It was just divine. I loved it. You guys should really give it a try. So that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for joining me once again. I appreciate every one of you and all of your support. So if you guys haven't already, you can subscribe now. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and come check me out next week for some more videos. Bye guys.